Hello everyone, my name is Linda. I am here again with a different and beautiful story. Before we delve into our story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like our video. The Adventures of the Little Prince, The Garden Beyond Time. Long ago, traveling among the stars, the little prince never thought about how time passed. But one day, he found a mysterious watch. This was no ordinary watch. It could control time itself. Curiously examining the watch, the little prince accidentally pressed a button and suddenly found himself in another time, in an unknown place. When he looked around, he realized he was in ancient times, in a magical garden. The garden was full of colorful flowers and ancient trees. Birds were singing historical melodies. Everything was so old and mysterious that the little prince couldn't understand where he was or in what time. As he wandered through the garden, he discovered an old fountain. Next to it was an elderly gardener. The gardener looked at the little prince with tired eyes and said, "Welcome, traveler from beyond time." "I was expecting you." The gardener explained to the little prince that this garden was a place between the beginning and end of time. The gardener revealed the secret of the garden beyond time to the little prince. This garden balanced the flow of time. However, the balance of time had been disrupted, and the garden was under threat. If the balance of time couldn't be restored, the entire universe would be in danger. The little prince was startled by this great responsibility. He didn't know how to restore the balance of time, but he decided to try. The gardener gave him clues to find 3 hidden objects necessary to balance time. The little prince set off to find these mysterious objects to restore the balance of time and return to his own time. Thus began the little prince's adventure in the garden beyond time. The little prince set out to find the 3 hidden objects needed to balance time. The gardener's first clue pointed to an old tree at the highest peak of the garden. The little prince climbed to the top and found a shining crystal at the very top of the tree. This crystal had the power to accelerate the flow of time. The second clue led the little prince to the deepest well in the garden. At the bottom of the well, he found an old clock mechanism. This mechanism could slow down time. The little prince carefully collected it. The last clue pointed to a mysterious pond. When the little prince reached the pond, he discovered a key shining in the water. This key had the power to stop and restart time. After collecting the 3 hidden objects, the little prince returned to the center of the garden beyond time. The gardener was waiting for him. The little prince handed over the objects to the gardener, and they began to work together to restore the balance of time. The gardener combined the crystal, clock mechanism, and key to perform a ritual that would balance time. During the ritual, the garden filled with light, and the flow of time returned to normal. After this great success, the little prince thanked the gardener and began preparations to return to his own time. However, the gardener gave him one last secret. The little prince carried the greatest secret of time within his own heart. As the little prince prepared to return to his own time, pondering the gardener's final words, he realized the true secret of time was within his own heart. While trying to understand this secret, the little prince realized that time was not just measured in hours and minutes. Time was actually a collection of lived moments, shared love, and acquired knowledge. The little prince understood that the time he spent in the garden beyond time taught him the value of life and existence. When the little prince reactivated the mysterious watch and returned to his own time, his planet, everything seemed the same, but the little prince was different. He now understood the value of time and the preciousness of life. From that day on, the little prince began to use time more consciously.
Hello everyone.
He paid
My
more
name
attention
is
to
Linda.
enjoying every
I am
moment,
here again
learning
with
new
different
things
and beautiful
and spending
story.
time with his
Before
loved
we
ones.
delve into
The
our
adventure
story,
in the garden
don't forget
beyond
to
time
subscribe
had
to
taught
our
him
channel
that
and
every
like our
moment of
video.
life was valuable. As the little prince looked up at the sky, he saw not only stars and planets, but also the flow of time and the beauties of life. And he knew that the real treasure was time itself. Our story ends here. Friends, if you are curious about the continuation of the story and other stories, subscribe to our channel. Wishing you always live your dreams. Goodbye.
Our story ends here, friends all. If you're curious about mysteries, subscribe to our channel.